Hey, what's up, guys? Well, as you can see, I'm out here in the shop. Got the Grizzly torque part and the Kodiak over there. Show you. There's the wife's machine. What I got going on is I'm finally doing a clutch mod. I got both of them taken apart. I'm going to do the same mod on each machine. I got the outer sheave, or your movable sheave. I have that taken off and sent out. It's December of 2020, the great year of 2020, right? Anyways, I didn't do any filming when I took the plastics off and the clutch covers. I mean, you guys all know how to do that. I will film when I get the new sheaves back and assemble it, and we'll do a ratio check and see how low a ratio I can get. And I got another mod in mind I'm planning on doing to this machine. I won't tell you about that just yet. I'll let you know about that later in this video or the next video, I'm not sure. Here they are. They're both the same. Actually, I sent out the both sheaves and both cam plates. Here's where I sent them. Show you that right quick. Coops Off-Road Performance. And I done both modifications that he builds, or that he does, is for a lower start-off ratio and higher ratio when it upshifts all the way. So I'll have more range. I'll have a lower start-off and a higher cruising. I'm also going to put a new spring, secondary spring, on my machine. Here they are over here. Here's our shims. We're going to put a 1mm shim in both machines. Here's the factory spring off mine. As you can see, it's an orange spring. I bought a purple spring for mine. Here's some anti-friction washers that will go under there, which is a really good idea. I bought all of this from JBS Performance. Really good guys, easy to work with. I called them up. They sent that right out to me. Ebach builds these springs for him. And here's the weights. I'm leaving the factory weights in both machines. And there's the covers, your slider guides. The weights in my machine are 21 grams. And on the wife's machine, you can see they're quite a bit thicker. They're a lot heavier weight. And the Kodiak, these weights are 30 grams. So it will upshift a lot quicker than the Grizzly, which will work out just fine for the wife's machine. So I like the idea of having a anti-friction washer on there. So there's the nylon guide there. That way that can turn. I will just put this on the press and do this. A lot of the guys use an all thread. Actually, I think that's what's in the book, the service manual. Put a piece of all thread in here and pull it together. I'll just do it like this. I got this piece of exhaust tube that I cut this opening in. And to reach in there and put the nut on after I compress it down with the press here. So if this jumps out here and hits me in the face, well, you'll see it. Okay, so we're down on there. We'll start the nut. Reach in there and start it. It's very dark. Okay, so we'll run it down like that. Okay. Now we will release that. Alright, so there it's on there. Now we will take it over, bolt it in the vise, and we'll torque this nut down. This will give us a way to hold this and torque that nut down. It's a 46mm, and this will give us a way to do the final. pretty tight. 65 foot-pounds. All right, so we got that. So we'll get this set on there. I'm reusing the same belt. Both these machines have right at 3,000 miles. Set this down. And most people will be like, well, why don't you go ahead and put a new belt on it? If this belt was worn out, I would replace it, but it's not. I'll show you. You can see that. 1.261. There's my service limit, 1.25. When it gets down to 1.23, down into there, then you would replace it. So I'm putting the original belt back on simply because it's not worn out. If it was worn out, I would put a new one on. I could probably get another couple of years out of this belt. There we go. I got that on. I'll torque that when I get them both on and holding it with a chain wrench. Or hopefully that works out. I'm not sure yet. And here's both the center shafts. We'll grease it down in here. I'll show you the grease here. We'll use, well, the can was busted, so I had to put tape on. This is a Yamaha automatic. What'll be for the weights. And then we will use this polyurethane. And we'll put that for your slider here for the sleeve, where it slides up and down the sleeve. Okay, and you can look really close right in there. Make sure you don't roll that, push that, you know, that seal could actually roll up and then it would not be sealing. So you gotta really make sure you're careful with that. I got each one of those slide galleys packed pretty good with the Ultramatic Yamaha grease. Okay, so this is my sheave. This will be the clutch for my machine, the 21 gram weights. All right, there you go. All the weights are laid down in there, and now I'm going to pack more grease on it. So there it is, packed full of grease. I have grease where the cam plate slides are going to be. We'll put our 1mm shim right there, and then we're going to set that cam plate. There's going to be our shim. Push that down. That way it kind of stays into place right there. And now we're going to set our cam plate on there. Shove that down. Now I'm going to seat all that out, all that grease, and then it should stay. Yeah, it's going to stay right there. So we know we have our shim right there. So, okay, we have our O-ring here. Put just a little bit of grease on that. Over that just a little bit. That way it's not dry. Okay. And there's some people that run them greaseless. Yamaha built it with grease in it, and these things got 3,000 miles on them, and the sheaves are in still really good shape. It was good enough shape to send out and have my machine work done to them, so I'm going to put them back with grease just like Yamaha designed it, with their factory weights, everything. So I think I'll buzz these down with the drill. There we go. Now I need to wipe my fingerprints off there with these greasy gloves, and we'll slide that on there. Okay. I got the wires put together there. Kodiak set up there, and mine, and we're going to wipe these bottoms off. Your sheave face here where your belt runs. So I've been touching with my greasy hands. A little brake clean on your towel. And make sure you got that perfectly dry. You don't want any grease left on there. I keep touching it. Now I gotta wipe it off again. Thank you very much. It's difficult to keep it clean. You're handling it. So let's go set it on there now. You gotta take that cable loose to be able to get the brake pedal to go down. I'm trying to film this. So to get this brake pedal to go down, to slide this off and on. So just remember to do that. And we have our screws in here to get our belt. Squeeze that belt, get that on there. Okay, there it is. You can see the splines come through just slightly there. Just slightly. And because we have a 1mm shim, so our shim's right behind there. Okay. Them splines will come through that washer. And now I need to figure out how we're going to torque this. Now I'm going to get my chain wrench and try to get it on here to hold this. Okay, stick that through there. Now that's going to get a hold and hit there. We'll try that. $100 foot-pounds, pretty tight. Oh yeah, it's pretty tight. There we go, 100 foot-pounds. Now we'll do the rear at 72. Okay, I'm not even sure this is going to work because the belt's got to hold this, so we'll see. It's going to slip. The belt's not even tight now. So, I don't know how I'm going to hold the rear. It looks like the rear is going to get hit with the impact. Okay. Alright, we'll just have to, we'll have to hit it with the impact since there's just no way to hold it. I don't have a way to hold it, so if you're careful, this shouldn't be a problem. I'm sure that's over 72. But we should be good. Support basket here, I put just a little bit of grease in there. Like I said, it has these hollow dowel pins. Make sure that you at least keep track of where they're at. Either they're going to stay here or they'll stay in your in the block. I took them both out just so I wouldn't lose them, and I knew where that way I knew where I had them. And two of these bolts are longer than the other two. Two of them was the ones I had stuck in there to release that. The two bowl holes that had dowels in them, that's where these longer ones will go. And the short ones will go there. We'll take a measurement here. I'm going to run it. Let the clutch move back and forth a little bit. And then we'll take a measurement and see what the ratio is. We'll fire it up here. And neutral. Take a little measurement. Whew. Get the camera set back up for you guys. So we'll take a measurement now, see what the ratio is. Okay, there's that mark. Let me mark the sheave so we can see it. Dorking around. Fucking shit. Okay. Okay, 1-1. Apologize. Okay. Let's watch. We can watch that one and that one. 1, 2. Wow. 3, just slightly over 3 to 1. As you can see that right there. That should be pretty good. Like I said, Coop tells me if you go any further, or I think everybody, if you go too far, you'll start rubbing your cover. Your belt will start rubbing your cover. So that's really about all you can go, is 3 to 1. So that should work out really nice. Took these outside, both the covers, the clutch covers, washed them off, cleaned them up a little bit. You can get to them a lot easier. They're half covered when the footwell is on there. Alright, we'll run these down. Run them down with your drill. Then you can put a wrench on them. Alright, get that back on. The cover on. I'm going to leave the footwell off for now because I got some more work I'm going to do to it. I don't know if I told you, I think I mentioned it earlier, but so I'm actually going to start taking it apart even more. And I'll show you what we got in mind. So right over here. That's the next project for the Grizzly. HotCam Stage 2, new valve springs, and I'm going to pull the head off when I do this and do a little bit of port work on it. You don't have to put new valve springs on when you do a HotCam. It's just a slip in, but this engine has, both our machines have like 3,000 miles on them. And your valve springs do get weak, they do wear out. So, I'll turn the camera on so you can see me. But your valve springs, they can wear out, and I definitely don't want to put a new cam in there, spend the time to do that. And I'm pulling the head off to do a little port work. And I have increased the RAV limiter on this thing. After I do that, I'm going to go ahead and do that before I take it out and do some test drives to see how the lower gear ratio is on takeoff. See if I can tell the difference there. And then I'll make a full throttle run down the road or something and see how the difference there is. See if it has more speed and less RPM up on the big end. And that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it, and we'll catch you on the next one. Over now.